What is up, guys? Welcome to the year-end Dad Bod podcast special. We have a lot of things to go over. We're going to do our NFL picks. We had last week's already written down. We just didn't make the video, so that'll be right here. And then we'll continue on with this week. First and foremost, though, Scott, do you have any shout-outs or anything you want to say before I get into my shout-outs?
Yeah, first of all, shout out to Chris Lofton. If you guys didn't get to see it, did an interview with one of my childhood idols, and it was so cool. He was such a good guy, just a bro, you know what I mean? So shout out to him. Shout out to all the parents out there that are stressing out over Christmas. 100%. It's it's a great time of year, but it can be stressful. So shout out to all you parents giving your best. And then I'm going to give a shout out to the guys on the page with us. Austin, David, Mitch. Who else is on the page? You, me,
Chris,
Mark, Chris. Shout out to you guys. The page has been flowing, doing very well. So we're going to continue to grow it, and it's going to be something.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to a couple of listeners that I know have listened to every single episode. Shout out to Jamie Fuller. Shout out to Adam Corey. Shout out to Brett. Shout out to Blair. Shout out to Ann, who also gave us an 11K page that we started using first. That actually gave us a start into using pages and stuff like that before we got this one. And if I forgot you and you are a listener every single time, thank you guys a lot. Austin and David, I know, listen to every single one as well, or at least, enough of them where they deserve a shout out for that. And now they're on the page. Just thank you everyone that's been listening, everyone that's given us an interview and a shot. We got a lot of things coming for the next year. Hopefully, by the time we do this next year, in 2022, we're at a much higher spot. And even if not, honestly, we're having a blast doing this. So, let's get right into our NFL picks. 49ers at Titans.
Give me the 49ers with the upset. I think it's going to be low scoring. I'll take the 49ers 20, the Titans 17.
I'm going 49ers in this game. The Titans just look off. I'm going to go 49ers 21, Titans 14. Browns at Packers.
I'm going to take the Browns. I think the Packers are due for a letdown game. They've been playing amazing. Rodgers is the MVP right now. I think this is a game they'll look past, and then they'll just fucking blow out the rest of the season. You know what I mean? So give me the Browns 27, Packers 24.
Barring a major meltdown, the Browns are garbage. I'm done. I'm done thinking the Browns are going to do anything. Browns are done. I'm going Packers 31, Browns 14. Colts at Cardinals.
I think the Cardinals bounce back. I'll take the Cardinals, which this is a tough matchup because Darius Leonard is going to be spying hard on Kyler Murray trying to run around. But I'll take the Cardinals 26, the Colts 21.
Kyler Murray looked like absolute dog crap versus the Lions last week. Definitely cost me a fantasy football championship possibility.
You shouldn't doubt him.
I'm going with the Colts. I don't trust Kyler Murray. I have not since day one. I was on the bandwagon thinking he was very good, and he's still very good. He's still a top 5 quarterback in the league. But I'm going with the Colts. The Colts are just a very, very solid, good team without many weaknesses. I'm going to go Colts 28, Cardinals 27, last-second field goal by the Colts. Lions at Falcons.
I'm going to take the Lions rolling this hot streak, which loses us our number 1 pick and kind of frustrates me on. It's a lose-lose. We either suck and we get a great pick, or we're not the shittiest team and we get a good pick. But I'm going to take the Lions. I'm going to go Lions 33, Falcons 17.
I would love to take the Lions here, and I know Jared Goff is not good, but he's better than any other quarterback you're going to put on the field, and he's just got COVID, so I don't know if he's going to play. I know Swift is coming back. I want to take the Lions so bad, but I'm going to go with the Falcons in a very, very close game. I'm going to go 24 Falcons, 21 Lions. Rams at Vikings.
I'm going to take the Rams. They're starting to turn it back around. They're playing for that division now. It looked like it was out of reach, but now they're right back in it. I'll take the Rams winning 37-33, and I'm going to say it's a touchdown and under, a game-winning drive for Stafford and the Rams.
I'm also going to go with the Rams. They won me some money today in two different things, so I'm happy with them right now. I think a Henderson, Sony Michel combo is actually pretty legit. Michel looks really good. That run game opens up everything for Stafford and Kupp and Van Jefferson and Odell, yeah, who's actually got a touchdown in every single game except this one. He's, we all said, he came there, he's a cancer, and then he came and he's gotten touchdowns every week. I'm going to go with the Rams, 31, Vikings 27. Vikings are a good team. It's just the Rams are better. Jaguars at Jets. Oh, my God.
In the game of the week, my rule is never take the Jaguars and never take the Jets, even though I think I've taken the Jaguars a few times. I'm going to take the Jaguars. It's going to be 1-0 Jaguars. I'll take the Jaguars winning 24-16.
I'm going with the Jets. Carter is back. He's definitely going to get a lot more burn than he got last week. Hopefully Zach Wilson steps the hell up and against the number 1 pick. This is a number 1 pick versus number 2 pick. This is an interesting game. It's not, but it is at the same time. There's storylines here. I'm going to go with the Jets winning a very close game, 24-23. Giants at Eagles. I'm sorry. Yeah, Giants at Eagles.
Giants won the last one when they weren't supposed to. I'm going to take the Eagles this time around, even though I took the Eagles last time. But I'll take the Eagles. I think it's going to be low scoring because I think people are going to hop on the over again. I'll take the Eagles 14-10.
I think Saquon Barkley has a very, very good game, but I think the Eagles win this game. I think Hurts also has a very good game. Eagles 31, Giants 21. Bills at Patriots rematch.
I'm going to go with the Bills to take the rematch. The Bills haven't looked great. They looked okay against the Panthers. The Panthers aren't good. We know that. Give me the Bills 21, the Patriots 16. And I think Josh Allen has a big rushing day.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Bills winning the rematch. The Bills are the better team. I mean, let's be honest. The Bills are better. I think the Patriots defense is slightly better, but the Bills also have a great defense. And the Bills on offense are just leagues better, in my opinion. I don't think Mac Jones is a good quarterback. I think he's a great game manager in a great situation.
He's been doing which is what they need.
Huh? What'd you say?
That's exactly what the Patriots need.
Oh, yeah. No, right. Perfect. He's a perfect quarterback for their setup. I'm going with the Bills 24, Patriots 17. Ravens at Cincy. Go ahead. You go first.
We don't know if Lamar's playing, right?
Does it matter? Huntley is Lamar.
Huntley looks fine.
Huntley is Lamar.
I'm going to take the Bengals winning a game that they need to win. I think the Bengals can take that division. I do. Give me the Bengals. I think it's going to be low scoring also, though. I think a lot of people are going to be biting on that over. I'll take the Bengals 21, Ravens 13.
I don't trust the Bengals, even though I picked them in my parlay to win this week.
Do you trust the Ravens?
The Ravens usually
I don't trust any team this year.
Like the Ravens are a team that if they just stop going for 2 at the end of the game, you know what I mean? Like I'm gonna go with the Bengals as well. I think this will be a low scoring game. I'm gonna go 21-17 in favor of the Bengals. Chargers at Texans.
Chargers are going to win this game. but it's not going to be as ugly as we all think. It's going to be a decent game, probably until about mid-third quarter. I'll go Chargers 31, Texans 20.
Chargers rebound. Herbert gets 3 touchdowns. Chargers 34, Texans 20. Buccaneers at Panthers.
Buccaneers without Godwin, possibly without Fournette, possibly without Evans. And they're playing the Panthers, you said?
In Carolina.
Is Cam Newton starting? If he is, I'm taking the Buccaneers. I don't give a shit who the receivers are. Give me the Buccaneers 27, Panthers 14.
I'm going with the Panthers. Brady looked awful last week. You can't ever doubt Brady, but I'm going to do it. I know Cam Newton is just disgusting, but he does have a rushing touchdown in every start he's played in. So if he can get 1 or 2 this game, I'm going to give him the shot here. I'm going to say Panthers.
Levante David also out.
I'm going to go Panthers 24, Buccaneers 21. Bears at Seahawks.
Bears at Seahawks. Ugh.
You see what
I'm going to take the Seahawks winning. I'm going to take the Seahawks winning, and then that hurts your guys' draft pick in New York. I'll go Seattle winning 18-13.
I think Nagy loses his job here. I'm also going to Seahawks. I think Fields is coming along a little bit. He's still obviously way behind, but he's a rookie. I mean, what do you say? All these rookie quarterbacks.
A rookie with a bad coach. Yeah, a rookie with a bad coach.
So I'm going to go Seahawks winning this game 24, Bears 17, but I think Fields gets a touchdown or 2 in this game. Broncos at Raiders.
Broncos probably won't have Teddy as he was killed last week. I'm going to take the Broncos still. I never pick the Raiders because they're not good, and they've proven that, even though they beat the Browns. But I'm going to take the Broncos to win this game 23-20, game-winning field goal for the Broncos.
I mean, the Raiders had to face a COVID-filled Browns team and still have to make it on a game-winning field goal. They're just obviously not a good team. But I don't think the Broncos are that good either. Divisional game, it'll be close, it'll be tight. I'm going to give it to the Raiders because they're home, and that's the only reason. Raiders 27, Broncos 24. Steelers at Chiefs.
Chiefs are hot right now, and we all saw it coming. You know, we knew it was coming. I did pick the Steelers with the upset last week over the Titans. It won't happen this week. I'll take the Chiefs 37, the Steelers 19.
I don't think the Chiefs get that many points because the Steelers defense just usually won't allow that many. I'm going to go the Chiefs 27, Steelers 17. Washington at Cowboys. I'm sorry. Yeah, Washington at Cowboys.
This is a big game. People Washington is in the wild card hunt, even though they lost today. I'm going to go Dallas. I want to go Washington so bad, but I'm going to go Dallas 23-19. I think Zeke's going to finally get a feasting day.
If Washington beat the Eagles today, I would have taken Washington to win this game. But because Washington now is basically kind of out of it, I think they're 1 game back still, but the tiebreakers don't go in their favor. I'm going to go
short week of rest too.
Yeah. Cowboys 28, Washington 17. Dolphins at Saints, final game of the week.
Give me the Dolphins. They've been pretty hot lately. I don't think the Saints aren't terrible. It's just
they're not great.
They can't get any momentum going at all. They always beat Brady and the Bucs, but they always fucking suck half the time anyways. Give me the Dolphins, and when I say low scoring this week, I mean low scoring. Give me the Dolphins 10-9.
I agree with you that the Saints don't give off that vibe like they used to with Drew Brees, that this team could win any game, anytime. But the Dolphins, have won 6 in a row, but they played the Jets twice. They played the Giants. They played crap teams. The only team they beat that was a good team was the Ravens, and the Ravens did that. Yeah. I'm gonna go with the Saints. I think Kamara was still a little bit banged up coming off of injury, and now he's fully healthy and ready to go. I think Taysom Hill has a good rushing game because the Dolphins do struggle a little bit versus mobile quarterbacks. I'm gonna go Saints 21, Dolphins 17.
Mobile quarterbacks that aren't named Lamar Jackson.
Right. So there we go. Those are the picks this week. Like I said, the updated total will be right here from last week as well. We got 2 more weeks after this one, right? Yep, 2 more weeks.
We're in week 15 coming up, I think.
Yep.
So we have 15, 16, 17. Or no, we're going to be in 16. So 16, 17, 18. I think.
Yeah. So that's NFL. Who's your top 3 MVP candidates right now?
In the NFL, so 1 and 2, I feel, are separated from the pack. I think Rodgers is number 1, Brady's number 2. And then I think it's a drop. And honestly, I don't even know if there is a number 3 candidate. Jonathan Taylor would be it if he wasn't a running back. But Stafford struggled. Murray struggled. Allen struggled. Lamar Jackson sucks. Kirk Cousins could be number 3 right now.
Yeah, no.
He could be.
Let's not do this again. I don't want to.
He could be.
I would have many other I would have like 4 other quarterbacks who
29 touchdowns to 5 interceptions on a team that's in the
very
playoff
good.
race.
That's very good. Here's the thing about what does MVP mean in the NFL? Is it just
it doesn't mean most valuable player? It means the best quarterback on the team.
If this was the most valuable player award, meaning the person who's actually the most valuable, Jonathan Taylor 1, Aaron Rodgers 2. That's it. That would be the MVP. Without Jonathan Taylor, the Colts would not be anywhere where they just wouldn't.
Aaron Donald.
Donald too.
Every single year.
A lot of defensive players could be up there for sure. But what I'm saying is,
Aaron Donald.
Brady's up there by default because he's having a really good season for sure. There's no denying that. But the Bucs offense could do well without Brady because they have.
What? After tonight, Kupp might be in the MVP race, like officially.
Kupp too. That's what I'm saying. If it really meant most valuable player instead of the most valuable quarterback, Rodgers, like you said, Donald.
Right. But you asked for the top 3 MVP candidates, so I'm going with who it actually is.
No, for sure. I want to like that the MVP is not honestly what they say it is.
Mahomes might be 3 now. Burrow and Herbert might be in the combo.
After last, because Herbert didn't even he threw for 240 yards last week, had 2 touchdowns, threw a bad interception. He's in the top 6 quarterbacks in the league for sure right now. But there's a lot of I probably
scored me like 30 fantasy points. He scored me like 30 fantasy points
because he got a rushing touchdown too. That's why.
Yep. But yeah, okay. I mean, this year the MVP is weird. Like, there's 2 guys who are actual candidates, and then the rest are just the crowd.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the NFL talk. Let's go over a recap of 2021 in sports. Let's start with the NBA. What's your recap of 2021 going back to the NBA championship?
So the NBA playoffs, people want to say the bubble year was an asterisk year. This last year was the asterisk year. Every team was hurt going into the playoffs. Every team. The Nets were missing one of their big 3. The Suns didn't play a healthy team. Congratulations to the Suns and Bucks. The Bucks were legit candidates. The Suns don't make the finals on a normal year. The Bucks have a chance. I don't think they beat the Nets if they're healthy, but it's a part of the game. Giannis in the finals. I made a post about this. Who would you take, Giannis right now or Karl Malone at any point in his career? I think it's Giannis without a doubt. I mean, Giannis is in the finals was scoring 40 a night while getting 15 boards, blocking shots in the clutch. He was the Greek freak. He was a superhero. Karl Malone was amazing. And I don't mean this in any way negative towards Malone besides his personal life.
We won't get
But
into that.
we won't get into that. But I mean, Malone was a scorer, and he was a pretty good defender. Malone with one of the best point guards of all time. Malone did play against some solid big men, but the power forwards in the 90s were not that great, the ones he was matching up with. You have Rodman, you have a young Duncan, you have KG almost to his prime. Who else is there at power forward in that era?
Here, the only thing that I will say, I agree. If I had to choose between Giannis and Karl Malone, I'm taking Giannis. But John Stockton is nowhere near as good with Giannis like he was with Karl Malone. There's no chance.
I disagree.
How can you do? How? Why you disagree with that?
Because Giannis can run the pick and roll. He's proven that. Karl Malone is better at the pick and pop than Giannis. The pick and roll, though, if Giannis had a point guard who was like John Stockton, oh man, it would be filthy.
Every time, like if you watch Stockton highlights, there were so many times he literally just popped up to Karl Malone right underneath the basket. He got about like 5-6 assists a game doing that.
And you think that Giannis couldn't do that?
I'm not saying he couldn't do that, but Giannis more tries to shoot a lot too, and he sucks at it.
He only shoots because of the critics. He didn't shoot his MVP season when he was at his maximum prime.
Well, not only that, Giannis is like, Giannis is point guards right now. Like in his MVP year, who was his point guard, and how many assists did he have a game?
Who was his point guard his MVP year?
I don't even remember. That's the point. He doesn't make the point guard better. Malone made Stockton kind of who else was Stockton really passing to besides Malone?
Hey, now we can't say that Malone makes Stockton better, but not Stockton doesn't make Malone better. Typically, the person initiating the offense is who is making the player better.
I'm pretty sure there's many, I can't name off rip, but I'm pretty sure there's many point guards who could just that to Karl Malone, and Karl Malone makes a layup or a dunk. I don't think it's that difficult.
I'm pretty sure there's a lot of big men who could catch those
You're telling me
passes
if you ran the point guard for the Utah Jazz, you couldn't just hit Malone a couple times and have 5 assists a game?
No, I'm not getting the ball up the court. I'm getting Mad Dog the whole way up, and I'm not doing it. John Stockton, as much as I think players today are more skilled and stuff, John Stockton is super skilled. When you're not relying on your athletic ability,
3-point guard all the time for sure.
When you're not relying on athletic ability, you have to be skilled.
Look at that. I'm not trying to downgrade Stockton here. I'm just saying that I think Stockton fit perfectly with Malone. I don't think he would have fit perfectly with Giannis. That's the only thing I would mention.
Stockton fits perfectly with any big man who can score. Any single one.
Giannis is not a typical under the rim big man, though.
He can be. He can do whatever he wants.
But he's not. We can't just say he can be and he would have done it. We have to go with what he's done.
We have seen it.
That's usually the point when I talk about the past. We can't move what they're doing and make sure they're doing something now.
Watch Giannis post up Joel Embiid. Watch Giannis post up Joel Embiid. It's fucking embarrassing for Joel Embiid.
A lot of things are embarrassing for Joel Embiid lately.
But what I'm saying, like, Giannis can fit. I don't like saying this as much. Giannis truly could dominate any era. Nobody is checking it. Karl Malone today wouldn't be
not as good for sure.
He would be David West.
That's a good comparison for sure.
Right, a strong big man who can shoot.
Like I said, Giannis over Malone is 100% factual. That there's no debating it. I would 100% take Giannis. The only thing I was just mentioning that I don't think Stockton would be as good. That's all. And
I think Stockton would be just as good because Stockton.
That's not a downgrade to anyone at all. It's just what I think.
The thing you got to look at too, Stockton, half of his resume is defense.
You're right. Stockton was a beast. It's not to down anyone. I just think every time you watch highlights with Stockton and Malone is literally just standing there, and Stockton hits him with a nice little pass that he just lays in or dunks in for like 5 times a game.
If you think that Giannis can dominate any era, who's stopping Giannis on those assist attempts?
I mean, again, I'm going based on what Giannis is doing today. And Giannis is shooting the ball too damn much.
He shoots like 3 3-pointers a game. Karl Malone shot like 2 a game.
3. Malone did not shoot 2 3-pointers a game.
Yeah, dude. Malone shot the 3 ball.
I'll bet you anything Malone did shoot 2 3-pointers a game. I'll bet you right now. Go look and see.
I can pull out my laptop. You continue talking. I'll pull out my laptop.
Yeah, do me a favor and look. Karl Malone did not shoot two 3-pointers a game. And regardless, we're not even just talking about shooting threes. We're talking about shooting from distance as well. Giannis tries to take a lot of 20-footers all of a sudden as well. It's not just 3-pointers.
All right, continue talking about this while I pull this up.
I mean, there's not much else to say. The only thing about that is, like I said, when you mentioned that you would take Giannis over Malone, 100% agree. I just don't think Stockton would be as good with Giannis as he is with Malone.
I think he would be just as good because Giannis is more dominant than Malone. He can do more than Malone.
Also, as good an athlete as Giannis is, he's not soft. Giannis is not a soft player.
No, he's a fucking monster. That people were telling me they think Malone is stronger than Giannis, and they would send a picture.
I wasn't gonna say Malone is stronger. I just think Malone's. I don't know. I can't even really explain what I'm saying. I think Malone is better under the hoop. I think Malone is better by the basket than Giannis is. I think Giannis going to the hoop on a dunk or something like that is just unstoppable. But I think Malone under the hoop is almost as good doing that.
You're right. Malone did not. I was thinking of Barkley.
Yeah, I knew Malone ain't taking no 2 threes a game. I've seen Malone stats.
But let me check a Malone stat for you real quick here, okay?
Okay.
And we hate looking shit up, but
well, this is just a 3 thing
here. Let's see here. Damn it. They don't do it for older players. I wish they would. When they show like the shot percentage per foot. Yeah, they don't do it for a lot of older players. Yo, Basketball Reference, get your shit together. Oh wait. Here we go. Malone from 10 to 16 feet shot less than 40%.
Right, because he's better under the basket. That was the point.
Malone from 0 to 3 feet shot 66. Should I check out Giannis's?
Yeah, go do that. I'm sure Giannis's are mostly dunks, though.
I'm sure Malone's are a lot of dunks also. Layups and dunks, right?
A lot of layups, yeah, for sure. The layup seems like a lost art in today's NBA.
All right, let's see your shooting. Giannis from 10 to 16 shoots 2% worse than Karl Malone. And he shoots 74% from 0 to 3.
Okay. And again, a lot of those are probably dunks, and I'm sure there's less of those shots.
Well, I mean, it's 0 to 3 feet. It's either a dunk or a layup, and they're the same percentage shot.
I'm saying I'm sure there's less of those. That was like all Karl Malone's game was, so I'm sure there was more.
Remember, I can tell you the amount. I can tell you the amount.
Karl Malone is the second highest scorer in the history of the NBA.
Because of John Stockton, a lot of that.
Okay. I mean, we're not. This isn't. It's not like we're saying anything wrong about Stockton here.
So, what was your What did you say?
Percentage of field goals attempted. I'm sure Malone took way more between 0 to 3 than Giannis does.
So Giannis shoots 49% of his shots from 0 to 3 feet. So
and I'm sure Malone's was like 70%, which is exactly my point.
Weren't you just saying Malone was a good mid-range shooter?
No, I never said that. You said he took 2 threes a game.
You said he was a good mid-range shooter.
No, I did not.
Malone, field goal distance, 0 to 3 feet, 32%.
That's bull. I guarantee it's bull.
That's the numbers.
That's bull.
I'm just showing you the fucking numbers.
Show it. Go like this and show it. Let me see the 32%. And if it's not there, then it would be like 6 to something.
32% from 0 to 3 feet.
What's 3 to 10?
3 to 10 is 11% if you round up. 10 to 16 is 22. 16 to 3-point, Malone shot 34% of his shots.
So you, in your mind, said he was a good mid-range shooter. I didn't say that. You said it. So you were right without even saying it. Because I didn't say he was a good mid-range shooter. I honestly didn't think he was that good of a mid-range shooter because I don't even remember ever seeing him.
He could stroke from mid.
Yeah, I'm saying is you were right. Giannis, you were right in thinking it. You thought I said it, but it was just in your mind because you were saying it.
What I'm saying though is Giannis 100% is just as good
So
as he
then,
is right now with
hold on,
Stockton.
hold on. Then that actually proves my point. If Malone was that good from mid range,
You just said he wasn't good at mid range.
then Stockton, it doesn't change very much then.
You're saying that Giannis wouldn't be as good with Stockton.
Right. And I didn't even think, and I said that without even thinking Malone had a mid range. Now that I know Malone even had a mid range, and there was even more assists that went to Malone from mid range as well. That I didn't even know.
Told you. I literally, the first thing I said was Malone would be much better in the pick and pop. That was the first thing I said. But Giannis would dominate the pick and roll. They're all worth 2 points. They're all worth 2 points. You want to take that 70% shot or a 32%?
It's going to be impossible to prove. Let's move on because I don't want to take like more time. We got a lot of other things to talk about, but we'll agree to disagree on that. Like I said, I think Stockton would be a little bit worse with Giannis than he would be alone. You think otherwise? That's fine. Let's move on though for more NBA stuff. So your big thing for 2021 is the finals and how it was actually more of a asterisk.
And I'm not trying to take anything away from the Bucks. They earned it. You know, they won a championship. It's never easy to win a championship. It's just frustrating that people say that the 2020 finals, the bubble year, there's an asterisk there because LeBron James got a rest. Everyone got a rest. It wasn't like the NBA was like, okay, the Lakers are taking a 2-month break. Everyone got a rest. Honestly, a lot of players said playing in the bubble was harder because there's no depth perception with the backboard.
There's no crowd. It's hard without a crowd to get.
Yeah, like up. Everything that you're doing is under even more of a microscope now.
No.
So I think the bubble year is the same as every other title, just like this one is. I'm just saying the people that discredit the bubble year, they should be looking harder at this last year with all the big significant injuries. I mean, do the Suns beat the Clippers if Kawhi Leonard's there? No.
No, I don't think the Suns really beat anybody.
Do the Suns beat the Lakers with a healthy AD? No.
No chance. Honestly, no chance.
I mean, AD. If it was AD this year, yeah, he sucks.
Yeah, because AD.
But if it was AD last year, no. The Suns probably beat the Nuggets with a healthy Murray. They do for sure, but they don't get there.
Right, they lose around. Right.
So that's all I'm saying is the Suns got there with probably one of the easiest paths ever based on injuries. The Bucks ended up who they play in round one, the Heat, which was a big challenge. That's who beat them the year before. The Bucks, I think they beat the piss out of them. So great for them. You know, they did what they had to do to improve. The Nets are still an elite team without Kyrie, but they were missing a big part. And then they had to play the Hawks. The Hawks beat your Knicks, beat my Sixers. The Hawks shouldn't have been there. Simple as that.
Didn't have to beat either of those teams, if I'm being completely honest. The Knicks had a lead every single game. They choked. Randall shot like 30%. I mean, honestly, they shouldn't have beat any team. So it was
props to Trae Young. Props to Trae Young. He showed that he can play. John Collins showed he's a hooper. Kevin Huerter was getting love last year, and that was great to see because that dude can stroke.
Yeah.
So, like I said, last year was a very injury-struck, and people do the same about lockout seasons. One of the reasons that people bash on Tim Duncan, they say he's not as good as like Kobe Bryant, is because in '99 he won a championship during a lockout season. Yeah. Every team was locked out. It wasn't just the Spurs. That was the year the Knicks lost to him in the finals, right?
99?
99.
Yeah.
And the Knicks were an 8 seed, is that right?
They beat the Heat, the number 1 seed in that series to start.
Which, by the way, I told you those Heat teams weren't that good.
They didn't have many good players. No, it was basically Hardaway and Alonzo, and that was it.
Right. So I don't think there's any. I mean, the Nuggets beat Seattle in like '94 as an 8 seed. That wasn't a lockout year. How did it happen? The Warriors, when they beat the Mavericks in 07, that wasn't a lockout year. How did it happen? You know what I mean? There's not just upsets in lockout years.
Right. Agree.
So, one last NBA thing I want to talk about, though, and this was a post I made, and I know that you're a Tracy McGrady fan and a Yao Ming fan. I'm a big Tracy fan. So I made a post about the 07 Rockets. They, in round one at home, choked against the Utah Jazz in Game 7. If they don't choke, the next round they play the Warriors. They beat the Warriors, right?
Mm-hmm.
If they beat the Warriors, they go up against the Spurs, who they were 2-2 against. I think the Spurs have a chance to win, obviously. That Rockets team was different, though. McGrady, Yao, and then just a plethora of role players who actually played amazing role basketball, like the Spurs. I think the Rockets have a chance to win that series. And then if they win that, they play the Cavs in 07 and they sweep them. If they don't choke the last 4 minutes against the Utah Jazz in 2007, McGrady and Yao Ming have a ring, and I stand by that.
Where do they go if they do have a ring? Where are you ranking them? How much higher?
McGrady jumps up to like top 35, top 40.
You don't have them there now? You don't have them in the top 40 now? I think I'd probably have them in there now.
I've got him around like 50 to 60.
Okay.
He didn't have a great prime, or he had a great prime. He didn't have a long prime.
Right.
And honestly, after that, everything went downhill. Like the next year, they won 22 in a row, but Yao Ming got hurt halfway through that. And that's when the injury started. After that 22-game win streak, they won like 50% of the games, and they lost to the Jazz again in round 1. And the big thing about that 2008 season that people don't realize, like that 22-game win season, the Olympics were in China simply for the fact of Yao Ming, and he didn't get to play. That's heartbreaking for a country, for Yao Ming. That's a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, my NBA takeaway this year, the recap is the Suns definitely are. They wouldn't have been without the injuries for sure. But I'm not going to take that away because this year they're a top 2 team in the West again. So they're obviously a very good team.
You got to remember though, the Clippers are without Kawhi, the Nuggets are without Jamal Murray. The Lakers have been off and on without LeBron and AD. There's a lot of injuries still going on.
For sure. But again, as we said many times, today's NBA is the most talented and skilled ever. So even role players are still very, very good. They're still doing it. I'm not going to take that away from them.
No, they're playing amazing. The only team that's been healthy is the Warriors in the West, other than
right. And I think Suns and them are 1-1 with each other.
1 and 2. Or no, I meant number 1 and number 2. They're 1-1.
They played each other. The Suns won the first, and the Warriors won the second one. Congrats to Steph Curry for breaking the record by far. He's going to shatter that in the next 5 years because he'll probably play more. He'll probably play till he's 40.
If you don't have him as a top 10 player this year, he has to be next year. I'm sorry. Like
he'll get in there. Right now, I had him on before this year. I probably had him at like 16, 17 because he was coming off of an injury. We didn't know if he was going to be a baller still or whatever, but he just said
he can play forever with his game style.
Right, exactly.
I mean, it's going to break my heart, but the Big O is going to be moving down.
I think I had Oscar Robinson at like 11. When we did the top 10, I had him just outside, so he would probably win for Duncan.
I had him at 10. And what's crazy is Kevin Durant could possibly break the top 10.
He'll be top 10 by career's end, for no doubt.
But this year he could break it. So you're going to see like Oscar and Kobe and Bill Russell move down to like 15.
Eventually.
It's sad. It means we're getting old.
100%. But and the final thing with the NBA before we go on to another sport, I will say that this year with the less foul calls, there are a couple of players that are struggling with it, but I think they're catching up to it now. Like James Harden is finally catching up to the fact, and he's getting a little bit more calls than he was before.
Trae Young's balling out, dude.
Trae Young said, "I don't need that foul. I could be good without it." Which again, I'm glad he proved that because before the Knicks series, I was sticking up for him all year. He wanted to be part of Team USA and wasn't, and he was pretty upset about that. And I was like, put him on. He's been one of the best players in the league. And then before the Knicks series, I was all hyping him up. And then he faced the Knicks, and now I can't stand that little piece of crap. But he's still a baller. So, yeah, the NBA, there's a little bit more basketball being played. But the 3-ball is just – I'm tired of it.
It's still taking
I know I have to get but I'm tired of it. It's like, it's not basketball. Standing there and shooting the ball from as far as you can and making it is not basketball. It's not the way it's meant to be played. So I'm a little pissed off
Which,
with
by
it.
the way, you blame Steph Curry for that.
I
You
I
blame
think he's
Steph
a
Curry. It's
major,
not Steph
major,
Curry,
major contributor in it for sure. It's not all his
but he
fault, but
does
he's
it
like
well. The
60% of the
thing,
reason.
the dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, those Houston Rockets we were just talking about, Daryl Morey started Moneyball in the NBA. He started the 3-point shot is worth more if you're shooting from 4 feet in and you're only shooting 2% better. It's not worth it. Daryl Morey, and then they brought D'Antoni in, and the Rockets are the reason the 3 ball is so prevalent. It's not because Steph Curry shoots threes because he can make it. The Rockets shoot threes because statistics tell them to.
Right. And how many titles had the Rockets won with that?
None. I mean,
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure they weren't doing that when the team was winning.
Yeah, no, definitely not. So again, it's not basketball. You know how the Warriors were winning their titles? It wasn't just because Steph Curry and Klay Thompson were shooting threes.
No,
Draymond
it's
Green,
ball movement.
amazing defense. They played a really good pick and roll game. They did a lot of other things that were basketball related than just shoot threes.
It was great ball movement, even though their whole offense was built around illegal moving screens.
Which helps people a lot on that team.
And
Curry
they're
and
doing that
Klay.
again this year, pissing me
Yes.
off.
But yeah, that's my takeaways from the NBA this year. Congrats, like I said, to the champion Bucks. I don't think they'll repeat this year. The Suns are still very, very good, and the NBA to me is just not, what it used to be, and obviously, but it's just I want more than just a three. Like I said, the layup is basically gone. There's so few. Like you never just see a guy go to the hoop and just make a little layup anymore. It's so like convoluted, and it's just kind of annoying. I want to see more basketball. I want to see more defense. I want to see less threes, but we're not.
It's great. It's crazy because people used to bitch, and like we were probably included. We used to bitch about how the Spurs were boring, and now we would kill to see it again.
Never once did I call this. I called Duncan boring, but not because he didn't shoot threes. I called Duncan boring because he is boring. He's just a boring player. But I mean that in the best way possible. That he wasn't flashy, where he was like, I gotta be the main distraction. I gotta be the main star. That you look at his stats and it's like he's got 19 and 10 every single game. To me, it was boring.
19, 3, 2.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
It's
yeah,
boring, but it's basketball. It was team
we would
ball.
we would kill to have it back 100%.
Let's go
But
over
yeah,
to the
do you have any takeaways? I was gonna say college. Do you have any takeaways for college?
No, you can take all that if you want. The only thing I will say about college is last year when we had when March Madness was canceled in the COVID season, and then it came back last year or this year, still March. Um, it was entertaining. It was very entertaining.
It's
I'm hoping
amazing.
I'm hoping that this year is equally the same. I'm trying to get into college as much as I can, but there's so much sports on right now that I'm watching that a little bit more. But during March Madness, I'm going to watch every single game like we did last year, and I'm excited for it. That's basically all I can say about March Madness.
There's actually a great game going on right now between Villanova and UConn. I don't know if you've noticed me looking over, but Shaka Smart is or not Villanova, Marquette and UConn. Shaka Smart is home at Marquette, so it's a beautiful thing. But you feel for Gonzaga. That was their year last year.
They can do it this year, though.
They can, but last year was the year, and they fell apart in the whenever they play a team that's uber athletic like Baylor was, which congrats to Baylor, nasty team with Davion Mitchell, Jared Butler. They were just unreal. And they play defense. They lock up. But your heart goes out to Gonzaga because it was their year finally, and it just fell apart. Shout out to UCLA for making a massive run as a play-in team. Johnny Juzang, while I appreciate him going back to college,
Michigan fans don't want to hear that name.
no, they don't. Michigan fans don't want to hear a lot of names because they suck this year. But Johnny Juzang balled out. Like, props to him. His best move was definitely going to the NBA. But I appreciate a dude staying and doing his commitment. You know what I mean? Houston had a great year last year. Sasser was a beast for Houston. They fell short of Baylor, the eventual champion. I told you from almost day one, Illinois was going to lose in the second round.
Yeah.
And they did. They did. They just weren't that good. They dominated the Big Ten, which I feel was a down year for the Big Ten. They choked. They did. And they lost to in-state rival Loyola Chicago.
Didn't Loyola Chicago the Elite Eight?
Loyola lost in the Sweet 16 to Oregon State.
That was a good story.
Dude, Loyola Chicago, Illinois can't lose to them in the tournament because Loyola Chicago was the only Illinois-based team to ever win a championship. It was like 1966 or something, and you lose to them. But your Syracuse team, Buddy Boeheim balled out. Joe Girard balled out. They looked
losing
good.
To Houston, losing to Houston was I know Houston was a good team, but we should have beat Houston.
Yeah, you should have. But along with UCLA making a miraculous run as a play-in team, Oral Roberts made the Sweet 16 as a 15 seed and lost by 2 to Arkansas.
That was a great game.
Massive props to Oral Roberts. That's something, just heart. Like, you can't win without heart. We had Abilene Christian, I think. They beat Texas in the first round, put up somewhat of a fight against UCLA, just fell off short. You had Oregon State make the Sweet 16 or the Elite 8 as a 12 seed. So it was amazing. You know, it was a great year of college basketball. And this year
wasn't the same old crap, which was why I liked it. It wasn't Duke. It wasn't Duke, North Carolina, or Michigan State, or Gonzaga was there, but you know what I mean. It wasn't the same crap. It was new teams, a couple of shockers. That's what you need in March Madness. You need it to be topsy-turvy, and it'll be great.
Yeah, it wasn't a chalk tournament. Those upsets are why people watch. Like, they want to see the March Madness buzzer beater.
Well, you know depending on who you have in your bracket, if a lot of people are taking the favorites, they don't want to see those upsets. But we, as fans of just basketball in general, want to see upsets.
I'll take a busted bracket if it means I'm seeing a once-in-a-lifetime thing. 100%. I have no issue with that. Michigan State a few years back. As much I'm a Michigan State fan, fucking Middle Tennessee State and Giddy Potts and Reggie Upshaw. It was a cool moment to see them get their moment. And then they lost to, I think, Syracuse the next round. Yes, because Syracuse ran that zone and they couldn't do anything. But, you know, like, as much as it crushes your soul to see your team lose, you're seeing history. So it's, you know, there's some light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. Is that anything else for college?
I think that's it.
How about football? You want to talk about the national title that's coming up?
College football playoff. Cincinnati's gonna get fucking smoked.
I'm happy they're there. I'm happy.
Yeah, it's cool to see them get in over Notre Dame and Ohio State and all these other schools that are always there. In the end, we all knew Bama and Georgia would be there. Yeah. We knew it. Mm-hmm. Michigan, props to them for getting through. It breaks my heart because Michigan State upsets them and then loses to Purdue. You know what? And then
I didn't think they had a chance. After Michigan State beat Michigan, I didn't think Michigan had a chance to make the playoffs.
Yeah, so good for them. And I'm not a Michigan fan at all. You know, the Big Ten was crazy this year. It really was. College football
crazy crazy. No one gives it that much credit. No one ever.
The Big Ten's not typically crazy because Ohio State's usually the clear-cut favorite.
The thing about the Big Ten, besides Ohio State at the top, the Big Ten, every single team in that conference can beat almost 90% of the country on any given day. Yeah. You got teams like Indiana and Wisconsin and Iowa.
Purdue.
These teams can beat a lot of other teams in the country that, like, no one gives them credit for having a great top to bottom conference, unlike anybody else. I mean, they have a great one. They don't get the respect they deserve. Even Michigan State, like, people think Michigan State's a basketball school. Their football team can be very good in certain years. They're not a walkover.
Yeah. And I'm one. I didn't think they were going to be that good this year, if I'm being honest. I think I told you that. I called them at, like,
their running back is going to get drafted really high.
I don't think he will.
He'll
be a second round pick. He'll be a second to third round pick. What I hear really high, I think Leonard Fournette going third or fourth.
Well, remember, there's not many good players. There's not that great of players in this year's draft. So, like, a lot of teams are going to look for that running back this year. Because
this year's draft isn't a sexy draft because it's a lot of big men. It's a lot of defensive
It's a lot
line,
of a lot
offensive line. There's a few round one receivers. The quarterback class is where it's bad. But every year, the quarterback class, even if the quarterback class is bad, we see teams move up because they want to take that quarterback. So while the quarterback class is bad and there shouldn't be one taken in the top 10, there probably will be 2 or 3 taken in the top 10. We see it every year.
Okay.
So, but college football, I think Bama's going to beat the piss out of Michigan or Georgia in the championship. Just it makes me sad.
I'm going Georgia. I think Georgia wins it this year. I'm going Georgia.
The way that the SEC championship went, I just don't see it. I think Bama's got their number now.
I'm going strictly based on a feeling and nothing else. Just I have this feeling that something crazy is going to happen this year and not the same old damn Alabama. I'm going Georgia.
If I'm the NCAA, I'm praying to God that Bama and Michigan play. Those are 2 of the biggest fan bases in college football.
I don't think Michigan beats Bama though.
No. Michigan doesn't beat Bama or Georgia. I hope they beat Georgia, honestly. Because if you're the NCAA, you want a different match. We've seen Georgia and Bama. This would be 3 times this year if they play. Yeah, we see it almost every year 3 times. You want to see new blood. And you want Michigan to be back being promoted. Here's the thing. We talk about, like, the money and everything. If Michigan makes to the championship game, one of the biggest fan bases in college football, plus, you know who, like, the biggest Michigan supporter is? Barstool Sports.
Oh, Lord.
Yep. Barstool. And they're one of the biggest sports outlets out there now.
Mm-hmm.
They're opening casinos everywhere. They just opened one in Detroit. So there's a lot. If you're a conspiracy guy, there's a lot going on.
There's storylines, put it that way.
Yeah, a lot of storylines that are possible.
But okay, so there's our college football, college basketball, NBA takes. What about baseball? You got anything to say about baseball? The World Series this year, the lockout right now.
Props to the Braves. They lose Acuna and they get better.
Yeah,
that's cool. Like, I wanted to see Boston win it. I wanted to see him beat Houston 100%.
I hate Boston more than almost anything in the world, but I kind of wanted them to beat the Astros.
And we didn't have a chance to upload our baseball picks, but we sucked.
Thank God the sound got corrupted.
I think I had the White Sox winning.
I had the Braves, though. I did have the Braves in the World Series. I had the White Sox versus Braves.
World Series, too.
Mm-hmm.
We both had the White Sox in the World. We had the same World Series.
You had Dodgers. I had Braves.
I don't think you did.
I'm 100%. Because I said, as a Mets fan, I can't stand saying this, but I hate both teams. I said it was going to be Dodgers, Braves, and the NLCS. The AL we got destroyed on. But the NL we got perfect.
AL every series.
The AL we got destroyed. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. But the NL we did pretty good. We did really good in the NL. You sure you didn't have the Braves with me? I think you had the Braves with me. I think we both had the same World Series.
I know I had the Braves beating the Brewers.
Yeah.
We did have the same World Series because I think you picked the Braves to win and I picked the White Sox to win.
That's what happened. And I even said, like, the whole time, I can't stand saying this because I didn't want the Braves to win the World Series, obviously, as a Mets fan, but I just felt it this year with them. I felt it this year. Freeman is so damn clutch. Their pitching, I didn't think their pitching was the greatest, but their pitching just got it done. Like, they've been doing, their bullpen got it done. Their starters got it done.
And they were missing Soroka, like, all year, weren't they?
Yeah. Max Fried got hurt. He came back, too. They got it done. Charlie Morton, though, was a savage.
Did Anderson play in the playoffs?
Ian Anderson, yeah. He did well.
Okay. Just a young pitching stat. They're going to be good for a while.
But they might lose Freeman in free agency, which is huge. Actually, they're probably going to.
He's going to be a Dodger.
Oh, my God.
What a douchebag.
But yeah, the World Series, it was a good World Series. Thank God Houston lost. I still pissed off that a team could blatantly cheat in front of our faces and get absolutely no punishment. But
Jorge Soler with that bomb in the closeout game.
So Lair and Duvall, two trades that the Braves made like mid-season that not many people looked at, and they just turned out to be the most clutch thing they did in the
It won
history
them
of
the
the
World Series.
franchise. Seems
It
like,
won them the World Series.
yep. The lockout is probably gonna not end until February or March, maybe. The season will be pushed back 100%. Um, the lockout's needed, like we mentioned in the previous podcast. So not much to say except the Mets are going for the World Series. Just signed Buck Showalter, Max Scherzer, Starling Marte. We're ready to rock. We'll probably choke it, but I'm ready to see some baseball.
All right. I mean, we can't go through this podcast without talking about the boxing goat,
Oh yeah, for sure.
Paul. So
Let's
we'll
go
go right
next.
to Jake Paul. I don't give a shit who he's fighting. He is reviving boxing. And
He's what he's doing is he's getting a whole nother fan base involved with the sport, which then makes the sport bigger. He's being the villain that everyone needs to start hating something in a sport to make it boom again. Now, again,
that's the thing. So when we talk, like the Super Bowl, if your team's not in it, but Brady's in it, you want to watch to see Brady lose.
Yeah,
When LeBron James is in the finals, people want to watch to see LeBron lose. People that hate Jake Paul are watching to see the possibility of him getting his ass knocked out. And they're just getting more pissed off every week and coming up with more excuses every week, like, oh, he needs to fight a real fighter. Tyron Woodley is a real fighter.
He's the definition of a fighter. He's not a boxer, but he's a fighter.
Right. So I'm not a big boxing guy, but I respect the hell out of what Jake Paul is doing. He is reviving a sport that needs revival. It's great. And he's a showman. He's the Conor McGregor of boxing, only he's not that good. We know he's not that good, you know.
If he fights Canelo, which is discussed, he's going to get his ass kicked. And this is from a
It's in the contract.
Jake Paul boxing fan. I think Jake Paul gets severely underrated for his game. He moves around the ring nice. I know a couple people say, "Oh,
he looks like a boxer."
he is a boxer. Like he can fight. He's a good boxer. He's not elite yet. He's got a lot of work to do, but also. I want to talk about the fact that everyone is saying that fight was rigged. Me and you are huge conspiracy theorists, and I know you bought into the fact that the fight between Paul and Willie was possibly rigged because everyone says he tipped that he was about to knock him out or something like that.
Yeah, he twisted the wrist.
And everyone says that's a clear sign. That's a clear sign, right? To me, what I think happened, again, I could be wrong, obviously. I would not be shocked in the slightest if it was rigged and it's like, Woods like, I'm going to take this hit, whatever. I don't think that happened. If you watch any Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson, Oscar De La Hoya, any of these dudes knockouts, before they make their attack, they put their hands close to their chest to try to finesse the other boxer. They pull back, they stop, they go like this to twist in to make you think they might hit you with this hand or maybe hit you with this hand, correct? It's a finesse move. When you move in, you try to pretend that like I'm going to hit you here or hit you here. And Woodley thought there was a body shot coming. So instinctually, he tried to move his fist down to block the body shot. What Jake Paul did was hit him right in the head, right into equilibrium, which will knock you out every single time. Go like this to your head right now, and you'll just get like a sudden shock. And imagine it coming that hard at you. You're gonna fall straight the hell down. And again, he pushed it in. He hit him with the same hand too. He went like this to show it in to let him know that maybe I'm coming for a body shot, and instead he hit him right in the head, right back here. That's
the
why
one thing though. The one thing that I noticed. So his left hand is the one that he pulled in for the possible body shot.
One like this, the one that he quote unquote tilted in.
Right. Well, Woodley brought his left hand down. That body shot would be hitting Woodley's right side, not his left side.
No. It was on the same side. He brought the hand down that it was the exact side that he was going to hit.
The wrist that he tipped, if he tipped it, was on the opposite side. Because he laid the power punch.
Paul was on this side, and this is the wrist he twisted with. Woodley went like this to block, and he hit him in the back of the head here. You're looking at it from a different angle.
No, so the left hand is the twist rich.
This would be Paul's left hand.
Right. So now
he tried to fool him. No. What I'm saying is, when he went like this, supposedly this is the one he twisted. When he went to punch him in the head, he tricked him because he thought because he went like this with the hand, he hit him in the head with this one. You understand what I'm saying?
What I'm saying is, if you're going to hit me, put your hands up like you're boxing again. Now move your left hand.
This is my left hand, yeah.
If you're going to hit me with your left hand, I'm not moving this hand away from my head to cover my body because it's going to hit me on this side.
No, but I'm saying Woodley went to go hit. Woodley was trying to hit him before Jake. He like almost forgot he was about to get hit. If he knows that if it was rigged that he's going to get hit, why would he want to take down his hand and get hit right in the back of the head is what I'm saying.
No, I'm not saying. I'm just pointing out that he protected the wrong side of his body.
I think here's the thing. I think he wanted to hit him with that hand. He was basically trying to hit him because, like, you sometimes will forget.
For a body shot, then.
He put it down to take for a body shot, is what I'm saying.
But he was protecting the wrong side, then. That's what I'm saying.
It's instincts, man. It's not that he was protecting. He wanted to hit him with that hand. The hand that Woodley brought down is the one he wanted to hit Jake Paul with. He just forgot that a fucking fist was coming right for his head.
But the thing I'm saying is, if he was going to hit him with his left or he was protecting with his left, the right side is where the body shot would have landed.
You know, Jake Paul was protecting his other side too, right? There's no way Woodley would have been able to use the other hand to hit him anyway. He was trying to hit him on the side that was opening up when he was hitting him with the hand. I know what you're saying.
If you and me are facing up,
yeah,
and you're hit me with your left, and I need to protect my body, it's the right side of my body I'm protecting.
Jake Paul hit him with this hand.
That's what I'm saying. So if he faked with the left, you think it's coming at the right side of your body. He lowered his left hand, and people are saying it was to protect his body. That shot's not hitting the left side of his body if Jake's going to strike with his left hand. It's going to hit the right side of his body.
No, we're not talking about the tip hand. The tip has nothing to do with anything.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
The tip hand is the one that people were like, oh, he was going to fake with the body.
This hand is the one I'm saying he faked the body shot. When he took the shot, he was like this low, like he was going to hit body, and then Woodley brought his hand down, and then he hit him in the head instead. That was the fake.
No, and I agree with that. What I'm saying is I'm seeing a lot of people saying the tip hand, he was going to try and swing at the body.
That's what people think, and that's
complete wrong side.
To me, that's completely wrong.
Right. Like if your tip hand over here is the one that you're taking the body shot with, oh shit. Then
I would understand if Jake Paul hit him with this hand, I would understand. But he hit him with the other hand.
Right. So that's what I'm saying is the people saying, oh, the tip hand was the body shot. That doesn't make sense. Because
and a lot of times,
hand is a threat.
If you watch a Tyson or an Ali, they do it's not a tip. Like this isn't like a movie like Creed. This is not that. This happens all the time.
This isn't Doug Baldwin in the Super Bowl telling him to hit high.
Yeah, right. But again, wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if we come later to find out, hey, Woodley took a dive. I wouldn't be shocked at all. I just don't.
And what's crazy? The crazy thing about Jake Paul is he won Woodley over before the fight. They hated each other. Jake Paul was so respectful to him when he took the fight. He bought him the Rolex, a lot of money.
That's all.
But, he was cool. And then when it was fight time, he was like, "I'm knocking this fucker out."
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see all the hate for Jake Paul. He's a cocky, arrogant asshole. The same people who love Conor McGregor hate Jake Paul.
Right.
They're the same personality.
And then everything is Conor is a proven fighter against actual fighters and things like that. So the thing is, Jake Paul has the hate for him as a person, and Jake Paul has the hate for him as a boxer. He has the double hate.
Mockery of it,
Yeah. But
personality-wise, the same
boxing.
Guy.
I'm happy that people are watching boxing again because, again, I stand by this. When I was growing up, the World Series, the Super Bowl, the NBA Finals, all that were nothing in comparison to a big fight night when it was, a Mike Tyson fight or even a John Hopkins fight. Huh?
Roy Jones Jr.
Roy Jones, Oscar De La Hoya. There was just a big fight night had just a different feel, and you were buying the pay-per-view too. You were paying $60 to watch that pay-per-view because there was barely any. There were illegal boxes away. you're buying the fight. I bought it. My dad bought it like every time there was one. It was
You're not
huge
streaming it on
feeling.
TikTok and Facebook.
Right. So I'm just glad boxing's back. That's all I'm saying. Now, Terrence Crawford needs to stop ducking and he needs to get in there and fight someone because I need to see another fight with Terrence Crawford because eventually real boxers, and I'm not saying Jake Paul is not a real boxer. I'm just saying that the actual circuit of real boxers need to step up and do what Jake Paul is doing. They need to bring back the fans too, because we can't just be excited for Jake Paul versus YouTubers, other YouTubers. We need to be excited for real boxing, which are guys like Crawford, Triple G, so on and so forth. I want to see that. So these guys need to step it up. Is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah, they need to promote themselves better.
Right. What else? What else is there to talk about? What other sport or my NYCFC just won the MLS Cup. I was an actual founding member in 2015 when that team had the original. They came to Yankee Stadium. And I only had 2 seasons worth of tickets, but I've been there since day one. Now, I'm not the biggest fan ever where I watched every single game, but the fact that the Bronx has a cup in a sport that I know, obviously there's a huge Latin population in the Bronx and New York City. Congrats to New York for bringing them a cup before the other New York team that's taken like 20 years to do anything. Yeah, I just wanted to push that in there because I actually got to see a championship for one of my teams. And of course, it's the one that I probably care a little bit least about, but hey, a title's a title.
A title's a title. So I think that's all for sports, basically. I got a 5 thing for you. I need your 5 of this. The year's almost over. It's another trip around the sun.
I also have a 5 for you as well, so we'll exchange.
So my top 5. Give me your top 5 childhood athletes.
Childhood athletes: Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Ken Griffey Jr.,
You sound
Dale
like
Earnhardt, Sr. Honestly,
you're a big bitch right now.
Those were childhood, man. That's who the big stars were, and Tiger Woods. Those were childhood.
All right. So mine, Allen Iverson, of course. He was, a lot of people's. Manny Ramirez, dude. I love Manny. Peyton Manning would definitely be a top 5. Paul Correa for the Mighty Ducks. You have no idea how much I love Paul Correa. And then number 5, if I'm going childhood, I'm talking like as a kid, not teenage years. So number 5, I'm gonna go with Scottie Pippen. Love Scottie Pippen. So that's my top 5. What do you got for me?
Because it's Christmas, give me your top 5 Christmas movies.
I'm not a huge Christmas movie guy, honestly. Like I watch Christmas movies, obviously.
Right.
I'm not gonna give them in any order because I don't think I have a goat, if that makes sense. But Home Alone's great. I'm a big 8 Crazy Nights fan, that Adam Sandler animated one. That's a good movie. I like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Oh
like
Lord.
One. This is going to be a very unconventional one, but Harold and Kumar 3D Christmas is amazing.
Yikes.
That's an amazing. It's funny.
It is funny. I have
not
seen.
smart, so I need comedy. The last one. That's so tough because there's a lot that you remember watching as a kid. I think it's called The Year Without a Santa Claus, with the Grumpmeister where he takes all the toys away from the poor town, and then there's like the 2 brothers, the heat and the cold brother. I can't think of it. It definitely either be that or like The Nightmare Before Christmas.
I'm gonna go Home Alone, Jingle All the Way.
Oh, yeah, that's a great one. Actually,
Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sinbad. Yeah. A Charlie Brown Christmas, for sure. I always gotta watch that. I had my other 2, and I completely forgot what my other 2 were. Oh, A Christmas Story, obviously. You gotta watch A Christmas Story. I mean, you'll shoot your
Oh,
eye.
yes.
Always got to do that. And the last but not least, I don't care what anybody says, Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and I will watch it every year to prove it is a Christmas movie for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
You have one of your king random facts of the day? Because I've got one if you don't.
you go. I don't have my fact. I forgot about my damn fact.
All right. So I got two, actually. They're both
Okay.
body facts. Number one is your nostrils work one at a time. And I don't know how, but I literally looked this up today because I knew we were doing this. Your nostrils work one at a time somehow. I don't know how it works, but it's a scientific fact.
Okay.
And number two, this one is a little rated PG-13. The inside of your mouth is made out of the same skin as the inside of a woman's part.
What's that woman's part called? I'm a virgin. I don't know these things.
They have two buttholes.
Do babies come from there or not?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do.
But
So, yeah, another one could be your lips are the same color as your nipples.
okay. Well, what if it's a darker woman?
Nope, they're the same color.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So when you offer this check, because you're dark.
I could check right now. Santa Claus check. Is there anything else? Anything else you want to say or?
We got more stuff coming up. The page is like we're actually taking steps now. Before it was we had the steps, but we didn't have a plan of action. There's a plan of action.
We were lazy. There's a lot of things we could have been doing, and we just got lazy because again, it was the COVID year, and there was a lot of other things we were dealing with. Now we still have those same things to deal with, but we're pushing it.
Right. A lot more motivation going on this time now. I got some more interviews coming up. We've had Josh Powell on, Kellen Dunham. We had Maurice Egger a while ago, Chris Lofton. I've been speaking with,
and we're gonna branch out on interviews too. Like it's not just gonna be like college or NBA players. We're getting some wrestlers, some actual e-gamers. There's a lot of things coming up. We don't want to spoil too much, but things are coming up.
Yep. I've got two current active assistant coaches coming up. One NBA, one college. One NBA of one of the hottest teams in the NBA this year. And one from one of the basketball religions out there for college. So it could be very big possibilities, to branch out from there on. And, we're just doing our thing, forming debate on social media that's not LeBron and Jordan. So that's definitely something that's been a goal of mine forever. And we're working on it. We're doing it well.
Yeah. So before I go, just two last shout outs. One, I want to give a shout out to our original editor when we first started doing this, Jeff in Washington. He was our original editor. And now, I started off a little bit, and then my fiance is actually doing most of the editing towards the end. Like she's the one uploading it to YouTube. She's the one that sits there and edits them and breaks her laptop doing so. So just want to give her one shout out for doing most of the editing. Yeah.
Drink like 30 milkshakes in one sitting too.
She did drink 30 milkshakes in one sitting.
Disgusting.
But that's it.
Yeah. You guys have a Merry Christmas, a safe Christmas, a good New Year. Open some presents.
And hopefully, 2022 is better than 2021. No matter how good your 2021 was, hopefully 2022 is better. We'll see you in the next year. Ho ho ho.